Hello there, Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to another card making video here on my YouTube channel. Today's video is part of a hop, the Grateful for 1K hop that I'm doing with my friends Marla Harris and Cathy Arenzana. Both of them recently reached 1,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel, so we're celebrating with a hop and some giveaways. The 7 Kids Craft Store, Cat Scrappiness, the Greetery, and Not Too Shabby are all sponsors and giving away shopping sprees to their shops. All you need to do is leave a comment below to be entered. Now for my card, I'm starting out with the October Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month from Spellbinders. It has this amazing plate that Glimmer Hot Foils leaves in a frame around your panel. So I'm going to be using the polished brass foil and this piece of pattern paper from Lawn Fawn. I'm going to create a hinge between my plate and my panel with some purple tape, and then I'll put my foil so the shiny side will be facing the Glimmer Hot Foil plate, and then I can close that down and I will tape it in place again. And when this goes on my Glimmer Hot Foil system, the plate needs to be face down, touching the hot part. I'll press the timer, put on the plates that come with my machine, and when that timer goes off in about a minute, I'll run it through my die cut machine very slowly. And once that is run through, we can peel everything back and see our beautiful leafy frame. I'm using this mat for the hot plate that came with my system. And then you can see here it Glimmer Hot Foiled beautifully, except in one little spot, but that's okay. I have a fix for that. So let's go ahead and do the other side again with the foil facing the plate. And when you tape it down, make sure your tape does not touch anything you've already foiled. It can dull it out. I'm adding a shim there, which is just a piece of cardstock, so that it will press more into the paper. I think that's why I had kind of a spot that wasn't foiled very well, because this is lighter weight paper than I normally use in the form of cardstock. So I am cutting out the middle of this to create a frame for my shaker card. So I just did a rough cut, and now I'm going to go around each of the leaves, giving this some detail on that opening for my shaker card. And you can see there the leaves and how shiny they are, and that they overlap a little bit in the center where I was Glimmer Hot Foiling that plate. They overlap there. All right, so now I'm using that as a reference so I know where I want to hot foil the sentiment that will go on the inside. Now this sentiment does come in the kit, and it says "Hello Pumpkin." I think it's super cute. So I'm doing the same foil, the polished brass for this, and again I'm putting it face down onto my plate or my platform and pressing the button. It will tell me when it's heated up, and then I can run that through. In the meantime, I'm gluing a window sheet to the back of my frame, just like that, and I can set that aside to dry while I finish up my sentiment. So I've run that through my die machine, and here you can see the sentiment all hot foiled on my card base. Hello Pumpkin. Now I am stamping some images from the Forest Feast stamp set, as well as the Happy Harvest stamp set. Both are older Lawn Fawn sets, but they're great for thankful cards, for Thanksgiving, grateful cards, fall cards. I love both these sets. Actually, the Forest Feast stamp set was my very first Lawn Fawn stamp set ever. I love it because it has that giant stump in it. So I'm stamping out my images, some with colored ink. I used walnut ink and I believe freshly cut grass for the green. The other images I am coloring in with my Copic markers. You can see the caps there on the screen. Starting with my hedgehog. He's super duper cute. And I am just starting with my lightest color, which is E25, going in with my darkest, which was the E57, I believe, and then blending that out with my midtone, which in this case was E27. And then I am using some lighter colors for his body and just creating some shadows there with my E23, blending that out with E13, and then my lightest E11. And then I'll move on to my little crow, which I'm using warm gray markers to give him the feel of being black. And my darkest color there was W8, and then I'm giving him a little yellow beak. And then we have all of our fun pumpkin things. So this piece of pumpkin pie is from the Forest Feast stamp set. I really thought I was going to have the hedgehog holding the piece of pie, but it's really giant in his hand. It must be from Costco. It's a Costco pie. And this is just the cutest image too. I love having a slice of pumpkin pie stamp. Like, it makes me happy. So now I'm coloring out the two pumpkins, which are from the Happy Harvest stamp set, and this will just create my scene that I feel goes really well with the sentiment on the front of my card, which again is that Hello Pumpkin hot foiled sentiment. So I'm finishing out the larger pumpkin. I'm going to color the smaller pumpkin the exact same way. And then I'm going to color in the top of the stump and the little wood grain with my E23 marker. I'm not going over it a bunch of times because this is stamped with a dye-based ink, so just being really careful on that. I will go back and add in some highlights with my white Jelly Roll pen. I love white highlights on my stamped images, so I always do that, and it just brings everything to life. I will die cut out all these images with the coordinating die sets. Even the pie has a die. And here are all the images die cut out and ready to go on my card. Next, I'm going to work on setting the scene. So I'm just going to lay everything out, not glue it down. And when I did that, I realized I needed a little extra something. So from my Forest Feast set, I stamped this tiny acorn, colored in the bottom with my E13 marker, and die cut that out with a teeny tiny die. Now I can glue everything down. I'm not popping these images up because I thought it was going to have enough dimension being a shaker card. And then for the shaker, I am using some fun foam to go all the way around that opening and creating a reservoir so my shaker elements do not escape. So the fun foam is in place with some double stick tape on the back. I'm using these gold seed beads from Crescent Creation and some leaves from Trinity Stamps. I will put down the seed beads. They're a nice gold color and just has a nice sound. It keeps everything moving. So I love the addition of seed beads in my card. I'll put a link to the Crescent Creations shop. It is owned by a friend of mine, Nia, so you make sure and check that out. And then I'm gluing my frame in place and trapping all those shaker elements in there, and I love the leaves in there. All right, so I decided I need some more images for the inside of my card, so I stamped the scarecrow and colored it, added some pumpkins, another crow, and I will finish coloring those, die cut them out, and glue them to the inside of the card. And then I'll add a sentiment starting with So Thankful with some clear pigment ink. And then because I use clear pigment ink, I am able to emboss that with white powder. I'll sprinkle that on and tap off the excess and heat set that with my heat gun. And then for the second half of the sentiment, I just have a skinny strip of orange cardstock that I will stamp on, and I am stamping it to say For Each Moment With You using walnut ink, and then I can glue that right below where it says So Thankful to finish off the inside of this card. Now I also felt I needed a little extra something on the outside of this card, so in the final picture you will see I added another crow and some gems. So I will have everything I used listed and linked for you below, so you can check that out if you would like. And make sure that you leave a comment below so you can be entered in to win one of the giveaways. Also, Marla and Cathy are both doing giveaways on their channels. So there's 7 or so prizes to be given away, and there's going to be a winner from each stop on the hop. Now to hop along, you just want to click the hashtag in the description box below that says Grateful4OneK. And I congratulate both of these fabulous creators on reaching this milestone. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out their channels and subscribe because they both make some really fun things. I thank you so much for stopping by, and happy stamping. Bye!